You know, Guru said it best. It's lonely at the top, and whatever you do, always gotta watch motherfuckers around you. This line tells exactly how it is. And according to Biggie Smalls, it comes with the territory.
I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, it's just negative energy, like my man Puff say. It just surrounds you. It makes you depressed, you know? So I got to rap about it. And that's one of the bad things about the game is when you get large, even your friends will turn against you, man.
Rap is like a sport when you think of the competition. Everyone wants to be top dog, and 90s rap wasn't any different. In fact, according to many, it is the most competitive time in rap history. So to understand what happened between Biggie, Ghostface, and Raekwon, we need to go back to an era in hip-hop when almost every MC was lyrically equipped to make history. As each artist came out with a new joint, every other rapper would scramble to spit something even better in their verse, thus raising the bar and elevating the culture with every track dropped. Everyone was trying to be the top dog, from Jay-Z, Wu-Tang, Redman, Onyx, and Mobb Deep, to Nas, Raekwon, and Biggie Smalls. They all busted onto the scene in the 90s. They could all hold their own in the game. And of course, with the competitive territory came disputes and beefs. After all, heavy is the head that carries the crown. And as such, diss tracks and shots were fired at whoever was wearing it.
Biggie had his foot on everybody's necks from a musical standpoint. We needed him. And he had the game in the chokehold.
We was them dudes. We was all trying, you know how New York is. It's like whoever's at the top, we got to try to get past.
Back in the mid-90s, despite the claims for the king of the East Coast, two rappers stood tall, Biggie and Nas. Long before their debut albums were released, they were under the radar, trying to burst out onto the scene. In mid-1992, Nas already had his first hit song out, Halftime, featuring MC Search, a song placed on the soundtrack for the film Zebrahead. The buzz around the single and his standout appearance on Back to the Grill only intensified interest in his upcoming album, of many even calling him the second coming of Rakim. A few months after Nas blew up on the scene, the notorious Big also released his debut single as a solo artist in June 1993 called Party and Bullish. Even Method Man attests to how big the song was.
I heard the song. I love the song. But I forgot it was that one little breakdown part in there. And when he came on stage, it was 100 Brooklyn with him anyway. 100 Brooklyn with him. So that part happens in the record, and they look like they was fighting. So these niggas up there fighting. And then Big, as soon as Big hit him with the chill, that's when I felt like this feeling come over me like they just killed. Watch what he do.
Yo, chill!
Both Nas and Biggie had huge singles. This set the tempo for what was to come, and at the time both rappers were cool. But how long can two top MCs be friends? In April 1994, Nas dropped his debut album, Illmatic, and it was a masterpiece, selling 63,000 copies in its first week alone. Unfortunately, initial sales fell below expectations, and his 5 singles failed to achieve significant chart success. It wasn't until 1996 that it was certified gold, and in 2001, it earned a platinum certification. While Nas's sales were low just 5 months after Illmatic, Biggie Smalls also released his debut album, Ready to Die, and it was a commercial success. It sold 57,000 in its first week, but it got certified gold within 2 months and double platinum the following year. Big Papa, the second of the album's 4 singles, was nominated for a Grammy for Best Solo Rap Performance, and the remix of One More Chance, the 4th single from Ready to Die, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. At this point, there was no denying who the king of the East Coast was, and even if there were doubts, the July cover of the Source magazine in 1995 made it official Biggie Smalls was flanking the Twin Towers next to the words, "The notorious B.I.G., the King of New York takes over." Not everyone was fine with the coronation, and soon the tensions rose in NYC. Raekwon the Chef and Ghostface Killah threw the first shot. A few days after the Source magazine crowned Biggie the King of New York, Ray dropped his highly anticipated first solo album, called Only Built for Cuban Links, which featured fellow Wu-Tang member Ghostface Killah in a major supporting role. The album sold more copies in its first week than Nas and Biggie combined and was certified gold just 2 months after its release. The album had fans, critics, and everyone else going crazy. Everyone, that is, besides Big. One particular track on the album, which was a skit called Shark N-Word. They called out the notorious B.I.G., and this was the start of what the media painted as a huge beef in New York.
So Ghost said it. I said, it's straight blood sport out here. It's war.
Oh, when Ghost said it, he said?
Absolutely. Okay. When Ghost said that on Ray's tape, oh, that was crazy. That was crazy, man, because it was something after that. I think Big called me.
We've never heard this story, Nas.
Yeah, Big called me, and he's like, yo, you fuck with them woo niggas? You knew they said that shit? And he was like, yo, that's how you feel away, bro, because me and him was tight.
Right.
So I was like, yo, I mean, that's Ghost.
Right.
Ghostface is Ghostface. There's no love lost. I didn't know he was going to say this shit. And he was a little disappointed because he wasn't trying to bite off my shit. Just in general, because he wasn't coming at it like that. Because if you listen to his album, he tell a whole story and shit. I didn't look at it like that. It was just competition at that time. So at that time, I was riding with that a little bit because it was competition. So it was just.
The whole rap game knew Ghostface was talking about Biggie's Ready to Die album cover. Big was obviously upset about the three men coming at him, but Ghost and Ray were just showing love to their boy. There was never any intention to take direct shots at Big. They were just trying to support Nas and point out the similarities in the album covers.
At that time, like I said, when Ghost said what he said, it wasn't nothing premeditated. It was him going in there doing skits and we in the control room and he say what he say. But I'm gonna tell you why he said it. And we had a certain respect for Nas. We was one of the guys that really rooted for Nas to be that guy in New York City, one of the illest MCs. So when we met him, it was like a bond. It was like a brotherhood. You know, we had a lot of respect for him. You know, me and Nas, of course, we connected, and then eventually I introduced him to Ghost and, you know, the other fellas in the crew, and me and Ghost really respected him. It's like seeing somebody that's one of those dudes way ahead of his time, and now the world see Nas today as one of the best. And he is one of the best in my eyes when it comes to doing what he do. So it was a love thing that was going on. And I guess that we didn't really know that Nas had a super relationship with Big neither. We just only know he got a relationship with us too. We know he knows, but we f*** with him. So I guess whenever Ghost went up in the studio, you know, Big had around that time, you know, showed his album cover. And, you know, that became a conversation in the van sometimes. Like, yo, damn, didn't Nas do a baby picture now?
Rumor has it that Biggie recorded a diss track for Raekwon, but deleted it before its release. His manager at the time was Jacob York and released this statement when Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links album dropped, and we heard the Shark Biters interlude. We heard that and we were like, what the hell was that about? No one saw it coming. It came out of the left field. It got squashed that fast. You ever notice that Biggie never put out a diss record against him? He rapped it. He got it off his chest. He just told me to erase it. You have to respect Big for taking the high road and choosing not to release any direct diss tracks at the Wu members. You have to remember Big was tight with Method Man, and honestly at this time in hip-hop, any kind of small confrontation could have opened a storm of events. Biggie didn't just lay down and take it though. He still responded with some subtle shots on kicking the door. Biggie raps. This goes out for those that choose to use disrespectful views on the King of NY. And you want to get on Son, you need to ask me. Ain't no other king in this rap thing. They took home Ready to Die, listened, and studied.
Yeah, and he told me, he said, you know, I'm going to have to get at your man. I'm going to get at a few people. And he did. He didn't just get at Rue. He got at Nas. He got at Ray and Ghost.
Obviously, Biggie being called the King of New York didn't sit well with other rappers from NYC. Like we said before, Biggie had a relationship with Method Man, and they were cool with each other. According to RZA, Method Man was cool with everybody. Method Man was on Biggie's Ready to Die album, despite RZA warning that nobody in Wu-Tang should work with anybody outside the group. But Method Man snuck away to get the song done. So Big and Meth are on the track, The What, and behind the scenes a mini war was brewing between the Wu-Tang members and Biggie. Even though there was some camaraderie, Big made sure to let the Ghost and Raekwon know that he still had feelings towards them. On June 27, 1995, the second single on Raekwon's album was released called Criminology and Ghost Raps. RZA baked the track and it's militant, then I react like a convict and start killing-ish. The song Victory was released March 17, 1998. However, the Biggie verse was recorded before his death in 1997. In the song he raps, militant, y'all fat and killing shit.
Aside from being cool with Method Man, he was also cool with RZA,
as he produced Long Kiss Goodnight on Biggie's second and final album,
Life After Death. So publicly dissing some members of the Wu-Tang Clan, but working with others, had some hip-hop fans asking questions.
Some fans believe Biggie was strategically trying to break up the group, and others just passed it all off as competition and tough love. Unfortunately, Biggie would pass away
before he could speak on the situation himself. R.I.P. Big. For years, fans and rappers alike didn't really know if
Biggie ever squashed his beef with Raekwon and Ghostface Killah, but on Noriega's Drink Champs, the two Wu-Tang members told the truth.
I love Big. You know what I mean? And I wish, like, before they did what they did to him, me and Ray and Cap was up in the club, I think it was the Key Club or something like that, remember?
Mm-hmm. Capadonna?
Yeah, and we fucked around, I shook his hand, met him and all that shit, because I was like, I was done with all that, with that shit.
Skit?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I wanted to get ahead and just make peace, like, yo, come on, yo, you know what, yo, let's get in the booth, let's go do something. Right. You know what I mean? So we see him, we give him dap and everything, whatever the case may be, and that was it. And I wound up, I hear that they murdered him probably like the next day. And
nobody knew that neither. Nobody knew that story.
Yeah.
That y'all actually met up.
Yeah,
seen
that was the first time.
We seen Big the night before he got murdered.
Y'all never spoke about this?
I shook his hand.
In LA or New York?
LA.
According to Ghostface, Big was young and popping, but he was tired of the back and forth, so he had always wanted to clear the air with a rap legend. So luckily he got to meet Big at a club in LA,
walked up to him and made peace with him, but unfortunately he was killed a day later in a drive-by shooting on March 9th, 1997.
Surprisingly, that was the one and only time that Ghost and Big ever met. And according to Ghostface, Biggie's death hit him more than Tupac. In an interview, he said, "That shit broke my heart. It really broke my heart.
I think I may have felt his death more than Tupac's death."
Maybe because he was so much closer to us, being from New York and all that. I don't know what it was, but it was something about his passing that affected me.
He was great. More than 26 years after Big's death,
Ghostface still admits that despite their loyalty to Nas, the King of New York was an inspiration.
"I wish he was still here because I have no inspiration. I'm not inspired by today's music. Back in those days when Nas came with something, I had to write something that was crazy. When Biggie came in with it, I had to go in. It was a bunch of cats inspiring others."
You know, one can only imagine what it was like to be in the presence of the notorious Big.
And one thing is for sure, there's no disputing that he was one of the illest rappers ever.
I think it was just the fact that me and Ghost just matured up and was like, yo, you know what? You can't front on a real one. You know what I mean? A real one, you gotta salute him. And get that bullshit out the way.
Hip-hop can have competitions that are fierce, and everyone in the game wants to be crowned King of NY. Clashes between rap heavyweights like Biggie, Nas, Raekwon, and Ghostface are reminders of the intense nature of the game. Between all the back and forth and subliminal messages, there is a constant truth among rappers.
The journey to the top can be isolating, and everyone's gonna come for the top dog.
Despite the rivalry, there's a deep respect for the craft and the legacy each artist leaves behind, and it's evident in the way this confrontation was handled. The respect between Ghost, Ray, Big, and Nas
embodies a period of hip-hop that seems like it's been forgotten.
Real hip-hop should allow each rapper to push their peers and elevate the music, and that's exactly what was happening here. These men all respected each other, and their issues were nothing more than brotherly love and a willingness to outrhyme each other.
We hope you enjoyed this video and would love to hear your thoughts about it.
If you are hungry for more, make sure to check out these other videos. And help us out by liking and sharing or dropping a comment.
We appreciate you guys staying until the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.